Star Wars The Acolyte Episode 4 came out yesterday, and yeah, I didn't care for it. It wasn't good. It wasn't as terrible as Episode 3, but it's just overall I'm not enjoying this series. And so some of you might be thinking, well, why do you keep doing these reviews? And the truth is that I got into The Acolyte mostly because of social media. Because all I would keep hearing is that The Acolyte would change Star Wars forever. That there would be a moment that would happen in The Acolyte, and after that moment, there'll be no going back. It would fundamentally just change the universe and the lore. So that got me interested. I wanted to see how exactly that would happen. It would have to be something just completely crazy for the lore to change, right? And then, of course, you had people on social media were being a bit hyperbolic, saying that the series would kill Star Wars for good, especially Episode 3. Hence why my review for Episode 3 was called The Episode That Killed Star Wars. It's because that's what everyone was claiming it to be. So that's why I got into watching Star Wars The Acolyte. And I figured, well, if I'm going to be watching this, I might as well review it at the same time, get some YouTube videos out of it. And so I watched the first episode and the second episode. And while I found the plot kind of boring, there were plot holes, there were just characters that were just acting weird. Overall, I didn't find it to be terrible. In fact, I ended up giving it a 5 out of 10, an average score. For anyone who's like new to this channel, 5 out of 10 just means average. Don't think 5 out of 10 like what IGN 5 out of 10 would be. 5 out of 10 is just an average score. It would be a C grade. It's not good, but it's not bad either. And that's how I felt about episodes 1 and 2. I didn't enjoy them, but I didn't hate them either. And I couldn't understand how people on social media were just like blasting it left and right. Like I thought, well, it was kind of boring and stuff, but it wasn't like completely terrible. And then episode 3 came out, and I hated that episode. I thought it was stupid. I found the characters constantly contradicting themselves, so many plot holes, things that make any sense, like a building being burned on fire even though it's made out of stone, and a little tiny candle lit that fire up. Like that doesn't make any sense. So just a bunch of stuff like that. You can watch the video if you want. But I didn't see where the lore breaking was. I guess you can say the witches creating twins using the Force could have been something, because it kind of kills off Anakin being the chosen one in a sense, and how he was born, because now he's not the first and he's not the only. It was done before him with twins. And I know like a lot of people are like saying how the witches did it before Darth Plagueis, but correct me if I'm wrong. Wasn't Anakin created by the Force and not by Plagueis? Wasn't the whole thing that Plagueis was trying to create life using basically the Force, the dark side of the Force, I guess? And so as a reaction to that, the Force created Anakin as balance. So it wasn't Darth Plagueis or anything. It basically no one created Anakin. Anakin was created by the Force. So to now have a witch creating two children using the Force, something that no one has ever done before, not even Darth Plagueis is ever able to do. That's what like broke the lore and destroyed canon for a lot of people. For me, I just don't care. I thought the episode was just terribly written, terribly executed. A lot of things were just laughably bad. So I also found the whole like it killed Star Wars to be just pretty hyperbolic. I don't think it killed the franchise. I didn't think it helped the franchise, but it didn't kill it. I just haven't been enjoying this series. And a lot of you pointed out in my review for the third episode, well, if you don't enjoy it, why do you keep reviewing it? Why don't you just stop? And so I thought, you know what? I'll give it one more shot. I'll see how episode 4 goes. If episode 4 goes great, I'll continue watching it. I'll continue reviewing it. If I end up just not caring for episode 4, that would be it. I'm done. And so I'm done. I'm done with the Acolyte. I'm throwing in the white towel. I can't keep watching this. My life on this world is not infinite. And so I'm not going to waste it on things that aren't giving me any pleasure or joy. So I'm not even going to do an episode breakdown because I just don't care. But I don't want to just end it like that, because on this channel, for anyone who's new, I try to be positive. If you would go and check out some of my other reviews, a lot of the stuff are things that I enjoy. Whether it's comic books I enjoy, mangas that I really enjoy and want to like spotlight, anime that I'm having fun with. I even have a series called The Worst of Netflix. And you might think, oh, this is just pirate ragging on Netflix originals. Actually, no. My goal is I'm going to look at Netflix originals that got terrible reviews, and I'm going to see if they actually deserve those negative reviews. And a couple of them, I actually found that no, like they were actually better than people were giving them credit for. And even the ones that were bad, rather than just ragging on them, I thought I will use my skills as a screenwriter to talk about what's bad about them, what they could have done differently, how to improve on it, as well as what I would have done instead. And for anyone who doesn't know, yes, I am a professional screenwriter. I write movie scripts for studios. That's what my actual job is. YouTubing is just a fun hobby I do. And it's also just something that I use to kind of work on my talking skills because I tend to write more than I talk. And so the YouTube was just for me to talk and for me to start working on talking off the cuff. None of these videos that I do are scripted in any way at all. I just hit record and I just start chatting, which is why sometimes I kind of ramble or go over the place. It's because I'm still trying to learn how to just get to the point without needing a script in front of me. In fact, the only thing I do actually take notes on is when I'm doing manga videos, I'll just write down the characters' names because trying to remember all these Japanese names can be kind of tough. So those are my only notes that I do. I don't even do bullet points. But what I'm trying to get at is this channel is usually try to be positive. There are the occasional negative reviews, but I don't go into them trying to be negative. Usually it'll be like I'm reading a comic book series and I enjoy the first issue and the second issue, and then the third issue just sucks. So I'm like, well, I'm already into this series, so if it's a negative issue, I will be honest and tell you that I didn't enjoy it. But then issue 4 might come out and I love it, and so that'll be another positive issue. And if a series continues to be bad, I just drop it all together and I don't talk about it anymore. So I want this channel to be positive. I see a lot of like channels out there that watch or read stuff that they hate, and it's just talking about all the negative things going on in the industry, both Hollywood, comic books, stuff like that, media in general. And I side with them. I do believe that Hollywood is in a terrible place. Media is in a terrible place. I do believe a lot of people are just not focusing on telling good stories, but rather pushing their own messages. But I didn't want this channel to be that. I wanted this channel to be like, you know what? There's a lot of crap out there, but there's also some good hidden gems. So let's try to be positive. Let's talk about good things. Let's talk about the hidden gems. Let's talk about old stuff that were good. Let's just try to be a positive channel. And I'm not getting that from this series. There's really nothing I can be positive about, other than I will say that the production isn't too terrible. I do think that the sets are very like minimal. Like, I mean, with the money that you're pumping into this series, you would think you could have some like grand shots and things like that. But all the sets seem to be very, very small. With that said, they are like decently designed and stuff. Like, I don't really have problems with the production other than just everything seems to be very small. But other than that, like, it's very hard to kind of come up with some good stuff with this series. And I don't want this channel to be that. I don't want this channel to be me hate watching something. Though it wouldn't be hate watching. It would just be more apathetic watching because I don't care for this series. I don't hate it. I just don't care for it. But I want this channel to be positive. And so I'm just going to say that I don't believe Star Wars is dead. I believe it's in a very unhealthy place. I don't think Disney's doing a very good job. However, there are still some good things out there that have come out under the Disney umbrella. You have Rogue One. I think Rogue One was actually a pretty decent movie. I kind of wish that I had saw the original vision because originally it was supposed to be more of like a war movie before it kind of got changed. And I thought that would have been kind of cool to see how it would have been. But even the version that we got was pretty decent. I think Andor is a really good series, and I'm sad that it failed in terms of like viewership and stuff because I think that could have been like an amazing run if we got more series out of that. Bad Batch, at least season 1. I haven't checked out season 2, but season 1 was pretty good. And I kind of wish we got more stuff like this. Non-Jedi stories. I know we had like the Mandalore, but even then Jedis were like involved. Same with the Book of Boba Fett. Though less said about Book of Boba Fett, the better. But yeah, like the universe of Star Wars is so vast and rich and deep that it would be nice to kind of explore things that we didn't really get to see much of in the movies. So having like us following the Bad Batch, for example, that was kind of cool. I kind of want to see more things like this, like less of the following Jedis and more of like, let's look at some of the other cool jobs and positions and characters that we can get out of this franchise. Star Wars Visions, of course. I mean, leave it to Japan to basically save every franchise. You can't go wrong with anime. And then, of course, you got your video games. You got your Jedi Survivor. Jedi Survivor 1 was really good. Jedi Survivor number 2 is coming out soon. And there's also going to be a Jedi Survivor number 3 that's already being like pre-developed. Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic is getting a remake. I'm a little bit wary on that just because I'm always wary when it comes to remakes. Like I'm hoping it turns out to be good because Knights of the Old Republic is one of my favorite video games of all time. Like I absolutely love it. So I'm hoping the remake is just as good, if not better. But fingers crossed on that one. I guess I just want to say that while Star Wars is not healthy right now, there are some good things out there to look forward to. And you always got your original trilogy, you got your prequel trilogy, you got your extended universe, which they can never take away from you. So there are still good things out there. Yeah, I'm done with the Acolyte. I don't care for this, and I don't want this channel to be something where I'm just constantly ragging on stuff that I don't like. Pretty much 98% of my videos are positive. They're things that I enjoy, and I'd rather talk about them. I'd rather talk about stuff that I enjoy and share my enjoyment with you rather than talking about something that I'm not having fun with. And I'm not having fun with this series. So this is the last video I'm going to be doing on the Acolytes. And instead, I'm going to try to just find some other good stuff. Maybe I'll do some retro anime reviews, talk about OVAs, or even just some old school videos that I like. We got some good, interesting anime coming up. We got some interesting TV shows coming up. Maybe I'll do like videos on those. But yeah, I don't want to be wasting my time on something that I'm just not having fun with. And I don't think you guys want to be watching stuff where I'm just hating on it, because that's just not fun. Yeah, like I said, I just wanted to end it on a somewhat positive note that while the Acolyte, in my opinion, is terrible, just boring overall, there are still some good Star Wars stuff out there. The franchise isn't dead. It's just in a very unhealthy place right now, in my opinion. It's not doing so great, but there are still good stuff out there to look forward to, so focus on that. Here's what I'll say. It's cliche, but vote with your wallet, vote with your viewership. As someone who works with movie studios, as someone who's talked to a bunch of producers and things like that, I will tell you that while studios will prefer that people enjoy their work, they also don't mind hates as long as people are still buying the product and as long as people are still watching the product. So your hate view is still a view. Instead, if you don't like something, just stop watching it. Stop watching it. Don't buy it. Become apathetic towards it. Like what I'm going to be doing with the Acolytes. I don't care for the Acolytes, so I'm not going to be doing hate videos on it. I'm just going to stop it altogether and just not even talk about it. It's going to be out of sight, out of mind. Apathy is the dagger to any studio. Trust me when I say this, they rather you hate something than you becoming apathetic towards it. Because when you become apathetic towards it, that's how a franchise dies. A franchise dies when people stop talking about it, when people stop caring about it, when it gets forgotten. Said you have people hate watching the Acolyte, trashing the Acolyte, and guess what? The Acolyte is going to be constantly in the news, and it just gives more ammo for people to write articles about how fans are becoming toxic and all that stuff, which I don't buy into, but it gives them more ammo. So what you should do is just stop. You don't like it, just don't watch it. You don't like it, don't buy it. So that's what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be practicing what I preach and washing my hands of this series. I'm done. I just don't care for it, and I don't want to waste time on it. So yeah, there you go. There's my I guess review / me just saying I'm done when it comes to the Acolyte. I can't continue this series. I'm not getting any fun out of it, and I rather focus on more positive stuff and just continue to pump out more videos on things that I am enjoying. So there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I hope to see you next time. Take care. Later. Thank you for watching my video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, I still want to thank you for watching it this far, and I hope the next one is more to your liking. With that said, thank you once again, and I hope you guys and gals have a good one. Later.